Hey guys, LionMaker here from LionMaker Studios.
You can say the same for me. If I'm in a relationship with a 16-year-old, I'm 28, same age as you, is that f***ed up? It's a very, very simple question. You only have to answer yes or no.
Dear friend, do you remember the late nights I used to talk to you?
I see you are liars.
I thought I'd do a little live because it's been a while.
When a person does something bad, they have two choices: to tell the truth and hope for forgiveness, or lie about it and hope it goes away. Sometimes the best course of action, though, is to make peace with the truth, to admit wrongdoing, no matter how depraved the crime is. Because the weight of lies can weigh heavily on a person, and coming face to face with the harsh truth could make one grow as a person. Marcos Wilton lied at every turn he could about his perverse actions, caught in lies many times, to the point that he couldn't give straight answers, piling lie after lie after lie. The man, accused of asking children for things he shouldn't ask them, and dating a girl when she was 15, were heavy accusations for him. And instead of facing the reality of the situation, Marcos Wilton, also known as LionMaker, was crushed under the weight of his lies. Well, this is the final part of the trilogy of projects I decided to do about content creators being a menace to kids.
I have a question. For God. Why?
And I figured I would end it on this guy. And for this, I developed a theory. Probably one that has already been thought of, but you know what? I wanted to be proactive. And that theory being, LionMaker lies a lot. That he had, at one point, been eyeballs deep into a drinking problem. And a lot of what he was doing was when he was pissed drunk. That doesn't mean I condone his actions, because what he allegedly was doing was really sick and creepy, and he deserved more of a sentence than what he got. More about that later. I think, though, because he couldn't come to terms with being ethanol challenged, that he felt compelled to lie to cover up his creepiness. Which, honestly, we will get into all of it. But I wanted to give my theory that 1, he was shit-faced a lot, 2, he, while drunk, showed he was a disgusting pervert, and 3, he should have faced the music at some point and come out and say what he did was wrong and he needed help. Bonus points if that was to Chris Hansen. But again, I have to say this, all of this was alleged. There's only one thing about this that people might point to that pokes a hole in this theory, but hold on, before using your hate boner to comment, I will explain why this one thing will fit in when I get to it. Also quickly, this video is meant to document things that happened in the past, so do not harass LionMaker. I am not about starting drama with anyone, and I can see how this video could start drama, so I ask you all to leave him alone. Marcos Wilton launched his YouTube channel LionMaker Studios on July 9th, 2013, which, no matter what he was doing before, with the channel he was focused on Minecraft. He interviewed people in the Minecraft community. He made maps for the Minecraft community. He made underwear for kids. Hold up, what the f?
Yes, his little f***ing picture of a lion on a pair of boys' underpants, and if you think about it, it's just pretty f***ing sick. It's like you can feel his face is nuzzling up against some little kid's balls. There are even videos of children shaking their f***ing bottoms at him. Granted, there's no evidence of him requesting these videos, but where does a child who can't even tie his own f***ing shoelaces get the idea to send a video to a fully grown man they've never met, shaking their little bottoms at him?
Okay, how the hell was that not a red flag right there? The fact that kids sent videos of themselves dancing in LionMaker underwear is a level of messed up that words cannot describe. But according to him, he was just sent them. Right. So either the parents of these kids are really bad parents, or, more likely, he is lying and he asked for those in private. He also called his subscribers cubs. While this in and of itself is nothing weird, going with the whole branding of a lion that makes up LionMaker, after the allegations, which I will get to, that is like listening to R. Kelly and Aaliyah's song Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, now, after everything we know about R. Kelly. Anyways, he grew, collabed with people in the Minecraft community, seemed to become semi-popular, but before all of this, he was just a dude that was born in Brazil, of Swedish descent, who lived in Belgium. And he was once a sous chef before deciding to market himself to kids, and make Minecraft videos, and sell kids' underwear as merch. Again, didn't any one of his friends think that maybe that was kind of weird and thought to tell him? Hell, you are never going to see Knox boxers or Ghost tighty whities because I know that would look weird. Also, I would never market to kids because kids are weird. They are walking germ factories that think it is okay to stick metal objects into light sockets. So I'm sorry that I went off on a tangent, but there are some lines that merch should not cross. And if you are marketing to kids, your lion logo on a pair of underwear is highly inappropriate.
What are you, stupid?
Anyways, while at the height of his popularity, he began to show some of his darker side on Skype, where he would be in group calls with teens and preteens, where he would get drunk at times, complain about people he didn't like, talk about how mentally messed up he was, and that is just another level of weird.
I'm going.
These are kids, not shrinks. What are they supposed to do to help him exactly? I am pretty sure little Susie just wanted to hang out with her favorite YouTuber. Then instead of this cheerful lion man, she got a drunk dude who was complaining about Johnny down the street who wouldn't buy a pair of his underwear. I am not letting that go. And it is because of these habits, he would end up in the land of allegations. No toxic gossip train required. There are many ways you can kill your YouTube career fast. You could say something racist. You could screw anyone you're working with every chance you get. Or you could write a really bad song about cancel culture while playing the ukulele. But the fastest and easiest way, get Keemstar's attention. Especially if what you're doing involves kids. Because Keem has no patience for that and will bury you. Because while people like Philip DeFranco and H3 will make videos on people being questionable, those hardcore fans of drama normally are avid watchers of Drama Alert. Susie Wiseman went on Drama Alert to do an interview with Keem, accusing LionMaker of being inappropriate with her daughter being 12 years old.
How she ended up talking to him, that's a difficult one. She was given an iPad from her school because she reached that age where they're given them.
Right.
And she got into the YouTube thing and
started watching a lot of content creators and streams and stuff.
Exactly. And there were many. But LionMaker was one that was kind of particularly prevalent, can you say?
Yeah.
We were making dinner and he moved from Twitter and asked her if he could make contact with her on Skype.
Now, how old is your daughter, Susie?
She's 13 years old.
She's 13. So 27-year-old Minecraft YouTuber that she's a fan of asks your daughter to move the conversation to Skype. What happens next?
Well, she comes down to me, or fangirling, can you say? That's a new phrase to me, but I understand what it means.
Right.
Lion, he wants to Skype with me. And I say, and she says, can I? I say, yeah, of course.
According to the interview and an article on the matter, LionMaker made contact with a 12-year-old. The 12-year-old was really happy to hear from her favorite YouTuber, so asked her mother if it was okay to talk to him. Her mother got on to make sure he was legit. When she thought he was just being sweet, just talking to fans and such, she allowed it. And then, when it appears Wiseman was out of the room, allowing her 12-year-old to talk to a man who at that point was around 27 years old, that was when things got uncomfortable for the 12-year-old. Marcos Wilton, aka LionMaker, asked a 12-year-old for nudes, allegedly, which according to something I am going to talk about later, might not be alleged. It might be fact, but because I don't want to get sued, I am just going to say allegedly to cover my bases and my ass. But Susie Wiseman would go on Drama Alert and talk to Keem about all of this, when honestly, I don't know why she wanted to. Nothing against Keem, but this woman looks like she's in her 50s. She probably doesn't have much time to just go on the internet and deal with drama. But one of the apparent reasons that she decided to go on Drama Alert was law enforcement were not going to do anything because one screenshot wasn't enough to investigate. So she went to Keem, and LionMaker, in all of his wisdom, claimed it wasn't him, that he had been hacked.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm done here. I fulfilled my purpose. I ain't need to see no more shit down here.
No word on if those elusive Iranian super hackers that Kiro tried to claim was his downfall was the cause of this. But LionMaker doubled down that it couldn't have been him because he was in jail at the time, according to him, which the irony is kinda almost poetic. But here's the thing. Further investigations done on the claim kinda proved that LionMaker was lying. The jail that he had said that he was spending his night in was closed at the time this all happened, meaning no way he was in jail. Because of this allegation, things snowballed pretty fast for LionMaker, because another allegation came forwards that he did the same thing to a 16-year-old boy and offered to pay the teenager $500 for them. Now, in some countries, the age of consent is 16. The problem is that the video of the teen talking about it suggests that the kid was from the United States, because he clearly has an American accent. And the age of consent federally in the United States is 18. For those outside the country, I have to try to explain this. States have different ages of consent, which range from 16 to 18. But on the federal level, the age of consent is 18. So because LionMaker is from Belgium, this would fall under federal law, not state's law. So yes, asking a 16-year-old for nudes while offering to pay them is in fact a crime. To prove this happened, the teenager called PayPal to show the transaction was real, and he recorded it and put it in the video. The teen also went into depth of what LionMaker was saying to him, which included how LionMaker wanted to break into the teen's home and R-word him. In what world would anyone, let alone a grown man, think it's okay to say that to a teenager? There is no excuse that anyone could make for that would justify it. So one of the things that LionMaker did try to justify things with was a video on the age of consent laws.
Some of the consent ages goes all the way down to 14. And so be it. If that is what the culture that we are in are used to, that is how we're going to live our lives.
Stop talking.
Which isn't justification. It is an excuse for shitty behavior. Also, instead of just letting it go, moving on after saying something about it, LionMaker didn't shut up about it, constantly saying that someone had to be out to get him, that he was being blackmailed, that he couldn't have done any of this because he was in jail at the time, that the screenshots were photoshopped. He was grasping at anything to make himself look like an innocent party. Here's the thing though, all of this, while there are screenshots and testimony from 1 or 2 sources, was still just allegations. He really should have just shut up. But the thing I have noticed with people who might have done something bad, they lack the ability to shut up. Enter Paige the Panda, who according to her, in her own words, was 14 when she met him, and they had a relationship from the ages of 15 to 17 years old, and he was well aware of her age. Well, things went south at some point, and LionMaker did something so stupid, it defies logic. He posted a screenshot of his desktop with a photo of Paige the Panda. And this wasn't just a normal photo. It was a picture of her bare bottom. So now we're into revenge porn. Also, before this, he tweeted that he had sexual exchanges through Skype with Paige. So there's that. At some point, he also accused Keemstar of hacking him, which I have no words for that. That is such a dumb thing to accuse someone of that I am just getting a headache, so I'm just gonna move on. This will be important later, but when he did this, he incriminated himself. As a screenshot that he tweeted about why he suspects Keem as a hacker showed that his desktop background matched the screenshot of the background that posted the Paige the Panda photo, and he would still claim he was hacked.
You are made of stupid.
Colossal is crazy decided to make a video on LionMaker. As you probably could tell, I've used clips of it before.
And a widespread interest in my health once again. It's you. Hi. Thank you.
Okay, so this guy is pretty f***ing weird. Like, he's pretty f***ing weird. There's something clearly wrong with him, and if you can't quite put your finger on it, consider where his fingers have been, because apparently they've been inside children for the last few years. At least, this is according to DJ Keemstar, the giant rat we all know and love, whose integrity is about as intact as Nicole Arber's hymen.
And this video caught LionMaker's attention, and for whatever reason, he decided to agree to an interview with the clown. This interview is 2 hours long, and it is a chore to get through.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to clarify that what I did and what I said at the time when I made my video explaining that my relationship, and my intimate relationship with Paige the Panda, the point that I was stressing at the time was the legality of things. Now, what also built up to me saying those things is also the story that I'd like to put.
I did a watching along on my Discord server of this interview, where it became apparent that I was not going to be able to take notes on this. But that had nothing to do with the people I was watching it with. We laughed, had a good time, 2 people got drunk. Still don't know how that goat got on the roof though. But this isn't going to be like the Daddy-O-5 video I did, where there was that 6-minute segment within the middle of it. Because I do not want to torture my audience any more than I have to. But there are key points I would like to talk about when it comes to this. One being that he does not answer the simplest questions.
You can say the same for me. If I'm in a relationship with a 16-year-old, I'm 28, same age as you, is that f***ed up? It's a very, very simple question. You only have to answer yes or no.
I don't, Colossal, because it's
I find it interesting that you're dodging that question when it's a very simple question.
I'm not dodging the question.
I don't think you can answer it. I think your moral compass is completely f***ed and you can't answer it.
He dribbles on and on and on. He doesn't know when to shut the hell up. Also in this interview, he passes the blame around a lot, like blaming Paige the Panda's ex-boyfriend for the photo on Twitter, because Paige had access to LionMaker's Twitter for some reason.
You know, she took this picture of herself. She can only send it to X amount of people.
She did not take that picture of herself.
Okay, who took the picture of her?
Look, you're asking me questions that it's not up to me to answer.
It's a fairly simple question. She must have known
it's not up
this
to
picture
me
was
to
being
answer.
taken
It's
of her.
not
She was
up to me
posing
to
for
answer
it.
those questions because
well, I'm sorry, but it is. I'm sorry, but it is because it was on your Twitter account and this is what you're being accused of. So you are asked to answer this question.
No. Let's make something very, very clear, Colossal. I am not being accused of absolutely nothing. It's not because you guys decided to make it as if it were an accusation and you're accusing me of doing such thing. That does not mean that I'm being accused of doing that. I have never been accused of doing that. Look, if you guys think, if you guys honestly think, if you guys honestly think, please let me finish my.
All right.
Going with what you said. If you guys honestly think that Twitter, after that happened, did not take the necessary measures because that was an intense situation, Twitter banned my Twitter for indefinite. I even tried twice to get an appeal. It didn't work. And what do you think Twitter does immediately after they see something like that? They contact the police. So what do you think the police did? What's the first thing the police did? They took Paige the Panda's computer and phone. They took Paige the Panda's computer and phone. They saw what happened. They concluded what happened, and I had absolutely nothing to do with that. And the case was closed. Well, like I said, no. That's a twisted question because, like I already said, I already answered your question.
Actually,
I already answered your question.
Who took the picture then?
Initially, I said, and I specifically said, and people can rewind if they want, I said at the time Paige the Panda was in a relationship. So to answer your question, it was probably very likely.
So it was her boyfriend that you're saying took this picture?
Probably very likely, yes.
What do you mean probably very likely? She was posing for the camera, so it must have been her boyfriend or herself. I mean... It's kind of obvious, right? So
yes, Colossal. No, you're right. That is very obvious, but I don't see your point though, because again, that has nothing to do with me.
We've just clarified that you're saying that it was the boyfriend that took this picture. That's what I wanted to hear from you. The boyfriend took this picture of Paige the Panda posing nude. Okay? So this boyfriend, how old is the boyfriend, by the way?
The boy that she was with at the time, they were similar age. They were similar age.
So 16. Okay, 16, 17. All right. So he takes this picture. Somehow, he gets a hold of your computer and posts this on your Twitter. Now, can we clarify that it was indeed from your computer and not just your Twitter?
No, because you're assuming...
We can, because there was a background. The same background on
which
your
I
Twitter.
still,
you know
which
the
I
story,
still
right?
have, which I still have.
You still have the
Colossal,
background. Okay.
which I still have, which is still exactly the same. I've seen the stupid pictures where they compare a background that I posted,
Well,
and,
well,
and
how
I'm,
do you-
and
how
I'm
do you
glad, and I'm
dispute
glad
that
that
one?
people did that. I'm glad people did that because that steps
Okay.
on my point. I very, very often take pictures of my background and share them in Yazos, share them with friends, share them because I'm showing things. I'm a YouTuber, you're a YouTuber, and I'm sure you also very often take pictures, screenshots of your computer and share them with people.
So you are insinuating that this boyfriend, genius, mastermind, Machiavellian genius, actually thought to make it look like you were doing this, actually had the human brain capacity.
Why would you need a human brain? Why would you need a human brain to come up?
It's a very, very clever move.
Considering the position, considering the
theorize,
position
to
that I was
see the
already
future,
in,
that he was okay, but to see the future in the fact that two people would match the two backgrounds together is a crazy move. One that's quite genius. He really plotted it out like a really Machiavellian plot. He got your background. He tried to mirror that your typing, everything, because the tweets are very similar to some of the things that you've typed before. They are.
and
So
they're,
he mirrored
and they're
all
very
of that.
and they're very inaccurate
He
too.
picked the perfect time to do it as well.
Because of the already situation that I was in, it was very easy to create a situation in the position that he was in, knowing everything that was going on and having access not only to Paige's Twitter, but also to Paige's other accounts. And Paige the Panda, for example, she had access to my Twitter because I gave her the permission, because from time to time she would help me with like comments or people tweeting me.
Okay. Paige the Panda had access to your Twitter, so you're insinuating that the
No.
boyfriend got onto
Sorry,
her computer.
sorry. I thought you were going to
You're
say that I was insinuating that she...
No, that you're insinuating that the boyfriend got hold of, had the access to your Twitter through Paige the Panda, posted this picture. It just doesn't explain the background. Not at all, unless he fabricated that part in, and I just find that very difficult to believe.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
He also mentions in this interview that he has an issue with alcohol, which he claimed that he had some kind of implant in his body that caused him to throw up when he drinks, which I'm not sure that they make those things. I know they make a pill that does that, but an implant? I've never heard of one. I may be wrong though. They might actually make them.
When you were drunk, I mean, obviously, they don't arrest you just for being drunk. What were you doing?
I was being aggressive because I have impulsivity and anger behaviors.
Okay. What were you doing exactly?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, I mean, you were angry, whatever, but what were you doing that made the police arrest you? They don't arrest you for just being angry.
Well, because
What were you doing?
I was being loud. I was being too loud.
They can't arrest you for being loud, surely.
They can if neighbors complain that I'm being too loud, and then they come over to see what is going on, and I'm being aggressive with them.
Was that all you did, though? You didn't throw stuff around or anything like that?
If you're talking about another situation, then no. That time, no. I did not throw things around.
Wait, there were two situations.
Yes, I've had many situations where my behavior and my anger, which again is just has nothing to do with any of the things that I'm being accused of, but I didn't know how to react
Why
or
were
what
you
to say
put in a drunk tank or prison or whatever you want to call it? Why were you?
because I was drunk.
You were drunk.
Yes. The only thing that I can think of that you're trying to get at is that I had an antabuse.
I'm just trying to understand your character a
antabuse
little bit.
implanted. I had an antabuse implanted that if I did drink alcohol, it would make a very, very severe reaction, which will just cause me to throw up for endless hours, and that's it.
But Colossal picks up on this and asks this question.
So
I
why
would
are
argue-
we
I would argue that
associating
it does
these two
because
things?
we do some stupid things when we're drunk, and perhaps you did some stupid things when you were drunk in a Skype call with a child. Like, that is a possibility. Maybe you don't even remember it, like you didn't remember the night you got taken to prison, which you admitted mere moments earlier. Perhaps you don't remember these Skype conversations. Perhaps it's just another case of that. You know what I'm saying makes sense.
You're making it make sense, Colossal. It doesn't.
I think it's because it's a good point.
Which LionMaker dismisses without a second thought. But this is the reason I came up with my theory, that LionMaker is an alcoholic, and a lot of what he did and said on Skype, he probably did when he was drunk. And again, I'm not condoning his actions. In fact, he is one creepy dude. This is how he started his videos.
Hey guys, LionMaker here from LionMaker Studios.
Yeah, creepy, childlike voice. I am pretty sure that if you heard that, not seen what he looked like, or know anything about this or him personally, you would probably think he has a van with free candy painted on the side. But back to this really stressful interview. The hacking stuff came up, which, here's a clip, but I'm moving on because I have no interest in this.
You insinuated that Keemstar had hacked you. Yes or no? Yes or no?
That, for me, I was pointing things out that could potentially lead to that.
Do you understand the word insinuated? Did you insinuate
it? I do understand the word insinuate.
Did you?
I was not trying
insinuate
to.
that Keemstar?
I was not trying to insinuate that he did it. I was only bringing to light what had happened.
Please.
I was bringing facts to the table, Colossal. I was bringing actual things that actually happened.
He was saying
I wasn't
phrases
making
like, isn't
things
it very
up.
interesting that Keemstar, he's known for this manipulation. He's been in contact with hackers in the past. Things like that. And then say, oh, well, he wrote this in my DMs to me. I mean, that is what we call insinuating, and you insinuated that Keemstar was a hacker.
He mentions that he has borderline personality disorder, and then tries to say that just because he has BPD, that doesn't make him mentally unstable.
Well, firstly, you said you've got a bit of a personality disorder. Well, not a bit. It's quite significant, as I understand it. And would you say that due to your personality disorder, that's not going away, by the way. You've still got that today. Would you say, given that you should be around children?
No, because my personality disorder is not the way that you're putting it. It's not I don't have split personality. I don't
say you have split personality, but you're not mentally stable, as you've admitted yourself, so should you be around children?
Not to that point. BPD is not like that, Colossal. Like, if we're going to speculate about what BPD is, then we need to first read up what BPD is, because it is not something...
Well, I mean, you've got it. You can explain to everyone. A self-admitted mentally unstable person.
I'm not
problem with alcohol abuse.
I have BPD. That does not make me a mentally unstable person.
You admitted it. I asked the question.
I am bipolar, by the way, and even I think I'm mentally unstable. I think a lot of people with mental illnesses would state that they are mentally unstable, even if they're on medication for it. To me, it seems more like he's trying to say that his mental state and his addictions have nothing to do with the allegations against him, when it does.
I am not drunk.
When looking into allegations, you have to look at everything, including mental states and addictions, to cover all bases, so to speak. But here's the interesting thing about all of this. He came on because he wanted to clear his name.
You want to take him to court? If this is all about justice for you, why aren't you getting justice for Paige? Apparently, you're selfish enough just to get justice for you. If you're so close, if you're in an intimate relationship with Paige the Panda, why aren't you taking him to court?
No. This is horrible what you're doing. This is twisting and
I'm not twisting anything. I'm asking genuine questions.
And all he does is waffle and deflect and get overly frustrated when he's asked questions. Questions that if he answered would help clear up everything. And at the end of all of this, all he did was throw a pity party for himself.
The evidence
thing is, I didn't get to give my side of things, Colossal. I didn't even get to say anything. Like, all that was brought up was all the same crap that keeps piling up after
what would you like
thing
to
after
say?
thing.
Okay.
So when I'm put in a position where I have to continuously just like that was my fear, initially, and I thought, if that happens, then it happens. Then things will just carry on, and it's just going to be a further echo of everything. But if everything that I'm being presented with, and my only answer is like, I don't know what you're talking about, that never happened, then obviously I'm put in a position where I'm just repeating myself over and over again, and I never get a chance to explain anything.
You are made of stupid.
All he did was come off as someone throwing a temper tantrum. And then he had the gall to say at the end of this that he felt that he didn't get a chance to be heard. Well, allow me to say this. Not only did he have the chance to be heard, but he blew it.
You blew it!
simple questions asked by Colossal, who, by the way, with his voice, I want him to read me the phone book. My lord, his voice is beautiful. All he had to do was drop the pity party and tell his side, but he didn't. Sometime around this, he released a video called Dear Friend, which is like listening to bad emo poetry.
Do you remember the time where I stood in front of others and said you were a good person? Dear friend, do you remember the times where I made me the fool because I wanted you to stand out? Dear friend, remember when you came to me in tears because no one...
Coping so high, coping and seething.
He claimed that it was going to be his last video, but it wasn't. Surprise! He kept uploading. But in 2018, Paige the Panda finally spoke. So I'm going to start this off by going back to the Colossal is Crazy interview, where LionMaker claimed that he had not seen Paige the Panda in real life, that everything was online.
Now, Paige the Panda and myself, we have never physically met. Like, we've never seen each other in real life.
He also stated in that interview that he and Paige the Panda were not in an intimate relationship.
Was that a mistake to call it an intimate relationship then?
Yeah, of course. Undoubtedly. Like, look, the discussions that we've had, you know, throughout after that with Paige as well, and the moment it was done and the aftermath and everything, we realized that it was a stupid mistake. Now, it's hard to...
Can we call it a romantic relationship?
It's difficult to say. I mean, the position that I was in, look, this is where I felt and where I was at with Paige the Panda at the time, all right? When I was like together with Paige and she was helping me out, I was very protective of her, and I've always been very, very protective of her in the sense that...
Well, let's hear what she has to say. In December of 2018, Paige finally spoke up. She had been understandably quiet throughout all of this, but she decided that it was time for people to know her story. And her story was a lot more than anyone would have thought.
This is my video about what happened between LionMaker and me online. I haven't had the chance to tell my side of the story, or my truth, and put it out there. And I know there's obviously going to be people that believe me and that don't. This is it. This is like the final thing I'm going to have to say about this. And I apologise for the quality of the video because there is no guidebook for how I'm supposed to make this. So it might be a bit jumpy and cutty because I'm just trying to factor everything in. For 3 years of my life we were in an online relationship. And in those 3 years it was basically just abuse, mental and sexual kind, so, you know, yeah, he went to jail before the whole court thing, and it kind of made us cut ties, although we had been in contact while I was in prison. We'd sent like letters to each other, but eventually that's all alright.
So did you actually end up meeting Marcus in real life, or was it all online?
We have met 3 times, and then obviously the twice in court, but we didn't actually talk to each other, obviously. We met in November 2015, December 2015, and January 2016. The first time we met, I was 16 at this point. This was a month after my 16th birthday. The first time we met, he came to England and stayed near where I live. The second time we met, we both went to London and stayed in a hotel. And the third time we met, I actually went to Belgium and stayed in his flat. But that was cut short because obviously the English police were notified that I'm not where I said I was, because I said I was in London with a different person.
For 3 years, between the ages of 15 to 17, Paige and LionMaker had a relationship. Also, he had lied. He met her in person, according to her. She described the relationship as abusive, something she couldn't just leave, because she felt trapped by him. He would use mental and emotional tactics on her, including cutting her name into his arm, scaring her, and recording her crying. Drinking because he knew that she didn't like the drinking. All the hallmarks of a piece of shit.
Yet this guy was threatening me, threatening to send messages to my family. It just wasn't a healthy relationship that didn't give me the option to leave until we were physically not able to actually get it. Well, he wasn't able to physically get at me while he was in jail, and I was able to kind of realise I needed to get out of that situation. So I kept working for him because there wasn't really any other choice. The abuse happened from the age of 14 to 17, and that pretty much was being shouted at, being screamed at, having my name cut into his arm, chairs being thrown out windows, laptops being thrown at walls, being told it was all my fault, him drinking because he knew I hated it, and being an alcoholic and getting angry. He seemed to play off of my fear. He used to scare me and record me crying. I remember one time specifically there.
But she did let us know that he was an alcoholic. The whole story she paints screams emotional manipulation, that he used her worries and caring for him to his advantage. When she did something he didn't like, he preyed on her emotionally and manipulated the situation. Oh, and she dropped a bombshell. When we all kind of already guessed that there was no hacker, just a drunk LionMaker, but there was a real bombshell in this video.
Did he end up going to jail?
He did, but this was before the whole court thing actually happened. So December 23rd up until end of September-ish time, he was in jail.
What year? December
2016 till October, till end of September, beginning of October 2017.
According to Paige, LionMaker was arrested for CP, R-word of a minor, and SA. He was in jail from December of 2016 to October of 2017. For reference, though he had denied he had done anything wrong on his channel, on his Twitter, and in the interview with Colossal, Marcus did not dispute the charges. He, at the time, due to whatever the hell the Belgian law is, got 5 years postponement, which means he didn't go to prison. But he would if the conditions of the postponement were violated. Those conditions were no internet access, no contact with the victims, no drugs and alcohol, and no creation of content. Which, by the way, he was uploading stuff around this time because he was not in jail. The best I can describe it is it's pretty much house arrest. But let's get back to the charges. The CP was for possession and distributing CP, not just because of Paige the Panda's picture that was uploaded onto his Twitter, but he had over 200 pictures on his computer. This man should have been sent to prison, but he got lucky because Belgian law is overly complicated and confusing, and I'm never going to attempt to figure it out. But he pretty much broke these terms and still stayed free for some reason, and his life seemed to spiral out of control. On January 20th, 2018, LionMaker's channel was suspended by YouTube, which was a good thing. Problem is, like with Daddy05, LionMaker doesn't know when to stay away. He could have gone back to being a chef, lived his life, and tried to stay out of the public eye, but he didn't. In 2019, he made a new account with the same name. And well, one of the videos he uploaded was a therapy session he had, which is probably illegal, but then again, I don't know Belgian law. But it is clear something is wrong with this because the person that LionMaker is talking to is blurred and speaking a different language. Anyways, in the video he discusses his drinking and coughs a lot.
Get drunk and I'm mean and I say stupid things and I'm aggressive and
It was one of the many ways that LionMaker attempted a comeback, but he failed. He just came off like a lol cow, and the spiral continued.
It's pathetic. It's actually sad. It's really fucking sad. Like every single one of you, I don't care if you're a supporter, I don't care. Like, it's just sad that you have nothing better to do. I'm the washed up you watching, Red Line. Bro, you can't insult me for being washed up while you're watching me. Like, the f Cancelled. Oh god. Oh no, Becca, you're oh god. I thought we saw the saddest of the saddest, but then Becca came along. You can't cancel people. That's such an entitled thing. You don't need to tell me what to do. Don't listen to them. Ah, you guys are so sad. Sad and pathetic. Sad and pathetic. Like, find something better to do. Throw your phone in the trash and go live a little. You're just all brain dead. Just brain dead. You're just sitting here. Fucking brain dead. Looking at what other people have to say, like tweeting about your problems and being sad all the fucking time and reading how sad others are. Like, get a fucking life, yo. Get a fucking life.
With threatening to kill people and going mental.
I see you are liars. And I see it. No. I'm not doing that. No. I already did that before and you f***ed me over. You f***ed me over. You f***ed me over, yo. Y'all f***ed me over. You are a piece of shit. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you for sitting here and trolling and doing what you do. Shame on you, you pathetic piece of shit. I see you. I see you. I see you, motherfucker. I see you. Help? I literally just talked to my psychologist and I told her the same thing. I said, you're delusional. I told her, I know better. And you're just all delusional. Watching me lose my shit is insanity. That's how broken you are. This is entertainment. Am I entertaining you? I've never had this many people watching me in 3 years. I've never had this many people watching me. This is entertainment. Are you entertained? Are you entertained?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
You did this to me. You did this to all of them. You as a entitled piece of shit. You entitled piece of shit of a viewer. You entitled piece of shit. Sitting there watching us suffer. Watching us hurt. All of us. All of us. And I'm sorry your parents don't love you. Hey, reality check. They don't. The fact that you're here watching me, not understanding what the is going on, is because your parents don't love you enough to explain to you how the world is put together. So guess what? You. Sorry, you got shitty parents. They don't give a about you. So here you are. Woo! You can't face it. Like face value. Face value! I'm gonna start killing some people, I tell you. I'm gonna start beating the shit out of people.
Daddy, chill.
And being drunk on stream. And passing out in his underwear on stream, as shown on Augie RFC.
All right.
Get alive. It's fascinating.
Oh, yeah, I saw this on you. Oh my god, he was wasted.
Guys,
he's on
we were sitting
oxys,
here-
dude.
Hold on.
Your laugh killed me on that. What the f?
We're watching this LionMaker stream, us kids, and we were deciding that we were gonna see what's going on with LionMaker. He seems a little weird. He's not moving at the moment. He's 35 minutes into a Q&A, and well, no questions have been answered so far.
I hope he's okay.
And Tommy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh. The Oxycontin fell on the floor, LionMaker. Go pick it up.
This channel ended up being taken down by YouTube, and it seemed like he was going to go on with his life. In 2023, as of this video, he has attempted another comeback. But for right now, it's just on Instagram. And I'm not going to show his Instagram because I don't want people to go there and mess with it. But his Instagram has been active for a bit now. And from what it looks like, he looks like he's in a better place mentally.
I thought I'd do a little live because it's been a while. And yeah, it's been a while. I'm doing good. I'm actually doing really, really good. Thank you. I mean, you know, ups and downs of life, but I can't complain. Cannot complain. When am I going to come back to YouTube? Man, I wish I could answer that question. I have no idea. Like, I can't even promise that I will, but I definitely want to. I definitely want to. I am alive. I am alive indeed.
Which is a good thing, and I hope that one day, when he's ready to, he could do something to talk about all of this. Maybe his mindset is different now. Maybe he's willing to be more honest. But he does seem to want a second chance. But I'm just gonna say this, you have to earn that. And I do not know what he could do to earn a second chance. To a lot of people, he's a manipulator, liar, and he preyed on kids. Really hard to come back from that. It seems like he is unsure if he will ever come back to YouTube, though I still think he should stop calling his fans cubs because of everything that came out about him. And I honestly think that he should have gone to prison for what he did to Paige the Panda and others. And before I end this chapter, I want to say this, leave Paige alone. She said what she needed to say about it, and she probably doesn't care to relive it. I say this because there have been people in the commentary community that bugged her in the past, and a couple went really far with that, which I will not get into. I will just say there might be someone in my audience who would want to, for some reason, get in touch with her. Don't. Let her live her life. Same goes for LionMaker. Don't interact with him. I have seen people watch videos on a subject, then go harass that subject, and the person who made the video gets shit for it by the subject. It creates drama, and I am not about drama. I am about giving facts of a case and leaving it at that. Yes, I make snarky comments, but they're just snarky comments. So do not harass LionMaker. That is all I ask. So let's talk about my theory from the beginning of this video. If we look at the whole thing with Paige the Panda and the weird underwear merch, my lord, I need eye bleach for that. It shows he had a disposition for looking at things of a younger variety. The fact is, his content was targeted to kids, which again, the underwear thing is just so fucked. That is my one F-bomb per video. With Colossal is Crazy, he mentioned drinking, how he had been drunk and arrested at one point. He had something in him that stopped him from drinking, which again, I'm pretty sure doesn't exist, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that something like that does exist. But it gives us a hint that he's probably an alcoholic. When drunk, people tend to do things they won't normally do, or at least think of doing, but would never actually do or say. Take Mel Gibson, for example. He was arrested on DUI on July 28, 2006, and proceeded to say anti-Semitic things while being completely drunk. He stated later that that was not in his heart. Fast forward to July 2010, where he called his then girlfriend to, while sober, tell her that he hopes she gets R-worded by a bunch of N-words. Hopefully that makes my point. So back to LionMaker. It is really possible that he was drunk when he asked these teens for nudes, and that he later saw this and decided to cover up with manipulation and lies. We see later on also that he does have a drinking problem when he falls asleep on stream, which again I need eye bleach for. But to summarize, he had these weird creepy tendencies. While sober, he met Paige the Panda when she was 15 and started a relationship. He made merch with his lion icon on underwear. Both he thought were okay, when in reality, it was a bad look for him. He also drank a lot, and that brought out his inner Jared Fogle. Again, that does not mean I am explaining away his actions. His actions were sick, depraved, and really messed up. I am merely looking at this through the lens of an investigator. This man had been found guilty, and posting Paige the Panda's bare butt on Twitter is unforgivable. In the end, the internet never forgets, and LionMaker will probably never be forgiven. Thanks for watching. If you like what I do, please consider liking the video and subscribing. If you wish to support me, I have a Patreon and memberships are active. God, I'm glad I am done with this trilogy of menaces to kids. Or, wait, am I?
Him, I'm being arrested, man.
Is your car open?
Which one?
The Pokemon one?
Really? 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 This is gonna wait till November. Till next time.